Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Adam Eats the 80s. Why is a guy named Adam eating the 80s? Well, I believe he has another show that talks about food. It's Adam, in fact, it's Adam Richmond Eats Britain. Yeah, he eats British food, Adam Richmond Eats Football. Secret Eats with Adam Richmond. Adam eats a lot of things. Yes, okay, oh yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of them. So he eats a lot of food, either exotic or historic, or based on a location, or this theme of the 80s. There's a lot of food that is highly associated with this specific decade, a decade I love. If you can't tell from a majority of the things, it's a UHF Weird Al Yankovic poster over there. There's Flash Gordon. There's Weird Al Yankovic's accordion. There's, Space Invaders. There's a Rubik's Cube. Leia and R2. There's lots of stuff here. So, yeah, I'm a little bit obsessed with the 80s too, just like Adam is. But he talks about the food that was originated and just consumed primarily in the 80s. And there are about, how many episodes? 10 episodes, or 10 episodes one season. Each of them are about 18, 19 minutes long each, so it's a standard cable show kind of thing. It's what it would run a half hour with commercials, but there are no commercials here on Disney Plus, at least the version I have. And I have to tell you that I normally just watch the first episode of a series like this, but it's the 80s. So I figured there's something in here that would catch my attention more than certain other things. And I was right, because I went all the way down to episode 8. May the fork be with you. Yeah. So Adam tries... Okay, each episode does have multiple stories. It's not just 20 minutes of Adam eating Star Wars related foods. It also covers medieval times, which is, a restaurant, show, theater. If you've ever been to one, you know what I'm talking about. They're primarily in tourist towns such as Orlando, Florida, Kissimmee, Florida, and we have one that is right next door to Knott's Berry Farm, which is not far from Disneyland. So we've got a ton of theme parks and things like that around here, and I think medieval times is still around, but. So he also talks about tie-ins to movies like Reese's Pieces with E.T. Makes sense. Yeah, and so he sort of just tries out different foods at different places that he can visit. And what better place to visit when it comes to Star Wars than Steve Sansweet's Rancho Obi-Wan up in Petaluma, California? You can take this... Steve's not asked me to say anything about this. He's not asking me to promote it. But if you are a Star Wars fan, well, you already know about Rancho Obi-Wan. That's just a given. But if you're a new Star Wars fan, maybe you don't know. Or you might have an interest in checking out a little bit of history. This is in Northern California. North, I believe, of San Francisco. I've not been there yet myself, but it's my dream to get up there. Rancho Obi-Wan, formerly a chicken ranch for the most part, is the biggest single collection of Star Wars memorabilia in one place. That has been challenged here and there, but Steve Sansweet, who is, for a time, I think he might still be to a certain degree, I can't really tell, he's been the fan... What's the term that they want to use? But he's sort of been the liaison between the fandom and Lucasfilm for a number of years. I've been in his office. He wasn't there at the time, but I've been in his office when I visited Lucasfilm a number of years ago. And yeah, he and I have some certain collectibles. At least one. We have one collectible that only he and I and George Lucas have, and the sculptor who created it. But it's a bust of Obi-Wan, the guy who created by Lawrence Noble, who created the Yoda fountain that you see out in front of the Lucasfilm offices in San Francisco on the Presidio. So that's a side thing. Never mind. But he goes to Steve Sansweet's place, and he gets a tour of the entire wondrous, beautiful, just amazing collection of Star Wars things. Everything you can imagine, and so many things you cannot imagine that had the Star Wars name on it, legally and illegally, over the years. But there's, of course, food is the focus, so Adam is told that if he wants to, if he finds anything that's edible, he can have it to eat. I have a feeling that this is not true, because Steve kind of doesn't want to mess up the collection. There might have been an extra box of cookies laying around, Star Wars cookies laying around from 1983, and he cracked the box open and eats them. Yeah. It's not a good idea. They went bad a long time ago. So, yeah. Best not to... If you have old Star Wars cookies laying around, please don't eat them. But it's fun to watch him do it. This, by the way, is from 2022. It filmed in 2021, more than likely, or somewhere around the midst of the pandemic. So everybody's still wearing masks throughout this. It's funny for a guy who has to eat things on camera in front of other people who help him out in finding these unique pieces. So if you love a little bit of Star Wars nostalgia with your 80s nostalgia, this is the thing to watch. I would have watched any one of these episodes if there wasn't a Star Wars thing, but I'm going to add this to my watch someday list, and I'm going to finish all 10 episodes because I love the 80s. The music, the movies, the video games, and everything else. So, yeah, the Star Wars thing was a bonus, so I had to do that. Worthwhile checking out for those of you who are Star Wars fans and need one more Star Wars thing to look at. This is pretty well hidden, but you'll find things. Wait, I'll show you what the other things that he looks at. Roland and Dough. There's a pizza one later on that I don't know. There's a pizza in this one. I don't know. It has to do with dough. Candy. Food courts, malls, mall food. Fast food, talking about the fast food of the 80s. Chuck E. Cheese. Chuck E. Cheese, come on. There's pizza. There's all the pizza places, including Chuck E. Cheese, I imagine, that changed the world. There's a Star Wars one. Candy. All the candy. There's ring pops right there. And the thirsty 80s, the drinks of the 80s. So, looks like beer there, but anything that was... I can imagine maybe some ecto coolers might show up in there somehow. I don't know. But no, it looks like a lot of fun. Just from the one episode I watched, I definitely suggest watching all of them if you grew up in the 80s and you need a flashback and hunger pains. Because it's going to make you hungry, or it'll make you hungry and nostalgic at the same time. Let's pick tomorrow's episode. 115. All right. 115. Kind of. No. Okay. Their third documentary in a row. But the great thing is they're all different. One was biblical. One is this, 80s food. And this one is my best friend's an animal. Sorry. Moving back into nature stuff, I guess. Just... pets, maybe? I don't know. My best friend's an animal is what we're watching next on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.